now I'm going to start the first part, which is 7 trickiest questions in interviews. And in this section, I will tell you what is that tricky question. Number 2, what is it that the interviewer wants to assess through this tricky question? Number 3, what is the usual answer that people give and why it is weak? And then I will share with you what may be a best answer for you. And it will be a template where you can use that template to prepare your own answer. And your answer will be unique because you will be preparing it from your own work experience. You will stand out, you will be different, and you will be winning the interview. So here comes the first question. And throughout what I will request you, I will go on showing you the questions. Stop the video for a moment, jot down your answer. What will be your answer to this question? And then I will share with you what is it that this question means to assess. What is the purpose of the interviewer? Why are they asking this question? And therefore, you will understand what is the opportunity that this question holds for you, how you can show your USP, your strength, and share about yourself best examples that you can tell the interviewers so that they understand your strengths, your capability, and relate better to you. With that understanding of what is the opportunity for you in this particular question, I will next share with you a template using which I will again ask you, now that you've understood what is the purpose of the question and you've understood what is the opportunity for you using a particular template to write your own best answer. And I'll keep guiding you throughout. So be ready while doing this course with a notebook and pen, and go ahead and keep writing your answers as I ask those questions to you. And then you will see how your new answer is so much more powerful, how it portrays you so much better, how it tells the interviewer what your strengths are. So let us start now. Question number 1. Tell us something about yourself. This can be an open and generic and general question. I want you right now to stop the video, take a moment, and go ahead and write down your answer. Proceed only after you have written your answer in the notebook. Usually, an interviewee will say something like, I am so and so, and I have worked in X company for 15 years. And this is the experience that I have. This is a usual answer. And this is something that everyone would be saying. You would feel that this is who I am, but this is a weak answer because everyone else is saying the same thing. You are no different from others. Although your experience is different, you have worked in a different industry or different company, yet this is not the best answer. Why? Because it does not portray any strength that you have. It does not tell the interviewee that you can frame your experiences in a positive manner. So now I'm going to share with you, why do interviewers ask this question? The purpose of this question is to, number 1, set you at ease. It is an opening question, and generally interviewers would want you to feel comfortable and feel at ease with the questions that are being asked with the interview board, and also because they want to know about you. It is a non-threatening way to start an interview. For you, it is an opportunity to become comfortable. And they're asking a simple, very simple, open-ended question. Tell us something about yourself. This needs to be used by you as an opportunity to talk about your strengths. Why say only that I am so and so and I have worked in this company for so many years in this particular area? That is not good enough. What is your strength? This is a question which gives terrific opportunity to you to show your strength. So I am sharing with you an example now. It is a sample, and using that sample and the template, I would want you to write your own answer. What you will fill where this particular person is talking about their strengths, how you will show your strengths. Just let me give you an example. So look at this. What you need to do is give your name and what you do. However, this is not where you are going to stop. What you're going to say is that I help companies. What is the problem that you are resolving for companies? By doing what? What is the unique thing that you do that resolves that company's problems? So here is one example. I help banks mitigate risk by analyzing complex data and turning them into clear, actionable insights. What do I do? I help banks do what? I help banks mitigate risk by analyzing complex data and turning them into clear, actionable insights. Now, this is an example of a credit analyst of a bank. It is known for the credit analyst as well as for the interviewers that this is what a credit analyst does. They help banks mitigate risks. But what is the unique thing that this credit analyst is using? They are saying that I analyze complex data and turn them into clear, actionable insights. What is that unique strength? Maybe nobody else has said something like this, that I convert complex data into clear, actionable insights. And then this is an opportunity for you to share an example what you do or how you do it. Give one or two examples above of what you've done, how you have done that unique thing, helping a particular company do something to solve their problem. And then this is an opportunity for you to name two or three top qualities that you have. So, for example, you can say, I am a good planner and I can lead my team through crisis very smoothly. Somebody was asking me that I have seen people lead interviews, the interviewee themselves answer questions in such a way that they lead the interview to go in a direction in which they want them to. So, the way you answer this opening question, that I'm a good planner and I lead my team smoothly through complex problems, is a wonderful way of leading the interviewer in a particular direction. In fact, let me tell you that interviewers also want you to lead them because they want an insight into you. And here, if you can find that opportunity, use that opportunity rather to let them have an insight into you. This would be a wonderful opportunity for you to talk about your strengths. How do you like that? Now, use this template which I've shared with you. Give yourself a moment and then go ahead and write this in your notebook. I'm sharing with you this screen once again. Go ahead, take a moment, write this out, and then we can proceed further to the next question. Take a moment. And here is question number 2, which makes a lot of people feel stumped, out of depths, and they do not know what to say to this. So when you are asked, why should we hire you? Or why should we promote you? Generally, we say, why have I come to the interview? I have come to the interview because I want to be promoted, because I have done great work. Why are you asking me this? But they do ask this. So please take a moment and write down your answer now in your notebook, and then I will share with you what is the purpose of this particular question. The usual answer that people give to this question, why should we promote you or why should we hire you, that I have worked in this industry for so many years, I have given wonderful results, and I have good leadership and execution skills, and I think that I am a good fit for the role. However, this is again not a strong answer, not a powerful answer, because it is not giving them an insight into you. This particular question, why should we hire you or why should we promote you, is meant so that the interviewer once again can get a better insight into you, understand your strengths, your unique capabilities. So let me share with you what is the reason. Why is it that interviewers ask this question? You might be thinking that it is obvious to the other person that I want it, that is why I am here. However, you need to understand what is the purpose. The number one purpose is that they want to know what your strengths are. And they also want to see whether you can sell yourself. It is very, very important for every leader to be able to sell themselves, to talk about their unique propositions, about their strengths, what they have done well, and what they can do even better in the future. And they also want to see if you understand the company which you want to join and whether you understand what are the priorities of this company. This question, although it stumps many, many, many people, most of the people feel very unnerved by this question. Why should we hire you or why should we promote you? Look at this question as an opportunity to show your unique value proposition. When you see it this way, not from the way that this is a question just meant to stump us, no. See it as a question meant to know your unique selling proposition. When you see this, how many of you feel that, wow, this is a wonderful question? How many of you know that, yes, this is something which will help me sell my USP? Write USP in the comments. Go ahead and write USP in the comments. So I'm sharing with you a sample best answer, and you can compare it with your previous answer and see how this template is better. So the sample best answer, once again, I am taking the example of the credit analyst, and throughout the course, I will take that same example so that we do not confuse it, but keep it simple. So here is the credit analyst saying, I have the ability to analyze risk and present the analysis in terms of simple, actionable insights. This helps bank mitigates risk. That part of the text which is highlighted in green shows the unique capability that the interviewee has. Analyze risk and present the analysis in terms of simple, actionable insights. Now, what you need to do is write in your notebook what is your unique ability and how it will help the prospective company you want to join. And go ahead and add that I know that this is a priority for this company, and thus I will be able to bring unique value to your company. And here, share an example of the work, and there you can exactly highlight how your unique proposition is going to be so valuable to the company. There was one executive, one credit analyst who was sharing with me how he helped his bank, the bank for which he is working at, multinational bank, fund Emirates. Emirates was buying aircrafts from Boeing, and for that they needed funds, and this multinational bank was funding Emirates. Now, funding for aircrafts, financing aircraft is a very complex business. However, he could do it very quickly and could present it in very simple ways. So, how have you done something like this? When have you done something like this? Something which is unique, which is different, which shows your unique capabilities. Use that to fill this question's answer. Use that. Something which you know that it is your strength, you should be able to verbalize it as an answer to the question, why should we hire you? Why should we promote you? So that was question number 2. Now we'll go to question number 3. Now here is another question which leaves many interviewees who are very excellent people, very excellent managers, very excellent leaders. They also feel very stumped by this particular question. Why do you want to leave your company? Why did you leave your company, or why do you want to leave your company? Now, this is a tricky question. And many a time, you might be wanting to leave a company because of a toxic environment, because you do not like your boss, because they want you to put in so too many hours because it is very stressful. You do not know how to put it in front of the interview board. I will tell you how to do that. First, take a moment and write down your answer. Why do you want to leave your company, or why did you leave the previous company? Take a moment to answer that question, and then we'll go to the next part. The usual way that people answer this question is that I'm looking for challenging opportunities. I'm looking for better career options. This is not a bad answer. This is not a wrong answer. This is also not a negative answer. You are also not bad mouthing your company or your boss, which is okay and good. However, it is a neutral answer and does not throw any positive light on you. You need to understand that in the interview, you have to use the opportunity of each question to show yourself in a positive light, to highlight your strengths and how you are going to be the best fit for this particular role. So, let me share with you what is the purpose of this question and what is the interviewer trying to assess through it. By asking this question, why do you want to leave your company or why did you leave your company? The interviewer is trying to understand your pain points. What are those things that you do not like? Yeah, believe it or not, they want to know because they want a best fit. They also do not want that once you join their company, you should leave it quickly. So, therefore, they want to understand what your pain points are. And they also want to see if you are a person who is generally discontented everywhere, if you are a malcontent, in other words. Are you somebody who is dissatisfied and unhappy in most of the places? Then they would like to see whether their company can provide the right opportunity for you or not, because they're trying to look for the right fit. And they would also want to see whether you would leave this company as well. Well, they have the right to assess all of these things. For you, in your own hands, this is an opportunity to talk about a skill or a passion that will find fulfillment in this new company. So, in your hands, it is an opportunity for you to highlight a skill or a passion that will find fulfillment in this new role, in this new job which you're applying for in this company. So, let me share with you a template, an example of what you can say here. Here is the credit analyst speaking. I want to work with the latest technology, which I have got an expertise in, so that this will be a great help in mitigating overall risk for your bank. In the position, and here talk about the role that you're applying for, I'll have the opportunity to implement it for your bank. And I know that you're looking for using this technology in your bank, and I'm excited to work with this. What you are doing here is you are showing that you are actually interested because you have a skill which you will have the opportunity to use in this new role. You will have a new challenge which you want to take up and you want to prove yourself. There is a passion that you have that you want to fulfill. And never badmouth your company, the company where you're working. Don't say anything negative about your boss. Don't say anything negative about that company. And when I say that don't say, I also mean don't carry that grudge. Because whenever you are carrying a grudge, it is a load not on the other person, it is a load on your back. You are carrying that heavy burden. Leave that burden. Don't let it be a heavy weight on your back. Actually, forgive, forget, and move ahead. And really try to fulfill that which is your passion. Use that. And now use this particular template and write your own answer, which will be more suitable for you, using your experience, what new skills you have, and how you're going to fulfill in this company. I am sharing with you that particular slide once again. Look at it for a moment, write your answer, and then we'll move ahead to the next question. Now we come to the next trickiest question. All of these questions which I'm sharing with you are questions which generally leave people stumped. But after having gone through these sample answers and understanding the purpose behind the question, you will be able to handle every interview with a lot of confidence and poise. Here comes the next question. Why do you want to join our company? Again, a simple question, but you can't say because this is the only opportunity I have, or because I want to leave that my previous company because of a toxic environment. How to handle this? But before I go to the purpose of the question, I want you to take a moment and write down your own answer in your notebook. Why do you want to join our company? Go ahead and write your answer. The usual answer that people give to this question would be, I've always wanted to work in a multinational like you, or it will be nice and challenging for me to work here. These are neutral answers, but they are not strong answers. What can be a strong answer? To understand that, we first need to understand why. Why is the interviewer asking this question? What is the reason behind this question? The purpose of this question is understanding your passion. What is the passion that you have about this particular opportunity? It is not only your past experience because of which they're going to hire you. They want to know what you can do for them when you join this company. So, what is the passion that you have? And if you have passion, you would have researched about the company. You would have done enough research. You would be knowing what they are doing and what they want to do, what are the new initiatives they are taking. So you need to have researched this company very thoroughly before going for the interview. And they want to know whether this will be a good fit, meaning whether you are a good fit for the role, whether the company will be doing the right hire by hiring you. The opportunity that this question gives you is that you can show your interest and how you will be a good fit. So once again, I'm going to share with you a template. Give me a moment to explain that template to you and then take a moment yourself to write out your best answer. So sample answer from our credit analyst. I know that your bank is adopting the latest technology for credit and risk. I think that is what attracts me more. This also provides me the opportunity to work on this new technology to deliver best results in credit risk analysis and mitigation at the bank level. So this is how the credit analyst is talking and showing that they're interested in actually mitigating risk and they want to use the latest technology. This is something that they're passionate about. You can add something like it would be exciting to work with the technology which you are already ready to adopt. So you have researched that is also coming out of this answer. Think now of a company which you might want to join, some company which you wish to join, and write your answer using this particular template. And here, what you need to do, take a moment. You can also take a screenshot of this. Take a moment to understand what your passion is, what you are excited about when you are going to join this particular company. What is it that will make you the best fit? What is the gap there and how you are going to fit that gap well? So far, I have shared with you 4 questions which can be very tricky. On the surface, they look very simple, but most interviewees feel very stumped by it because they want to look at you, judge you deeply. And these questions are: number one, tell us something about yourself. Number two, why should we hire you? Why should we promote you? Why did you leave your previous company? Why do you want to join us? So these are 4 questions that we have already discussed. Coming now to the next 3 questions. So here comes question number 5. And question number 5 wants to see how ambitious you are. So here is the question. Just let us look at the question first. Here comes question number 5 for you. If we hire you in 3 years from now, what would be your most significant contribution to our company? Once again, like we did previously, I want you to take a moment, look at this question, and write down your own answer in your notebook. One moment, write down your own answer in your notebook. The usual answer that people might give, and although these are neutral answers, but they're usual and they're weak. I would have increased business by 10%. I would have increased profit by 15%. Something generic people would say because looking into the future is not easy. And that is why it stumps interviewees. 3 years from now, it's also unpredictable. What is the interviewer trying to assess by asking this question? The purpose is they want to know what is important for you. They also want to know whether you can have a realistic vision and can you set and execute goals. So these are the purposes of the question. What is the opportunity for you? The opportunity for you is to show that yes, you do have a vision, you can set goals, and you are also realistic. You can set goals, you can execute them realistically. And now I'm going to share with you a sample answer. Using that, I would want you to write your own answer in your notebook. So here is the sample answer. In 3 years from now, we would have implemented the new technology across the bank. Due to this, we would have reduced our non-performing assets and mitigated future risk. And if you feel you can add a number, only then add it. However, you can also leave that. Something realistic, looking at the industry data, what can be done in 3 years' time. If you can add that, do that. And you can say that we would be industry leaders because we are the first bank to be adopting this new technology. However, know that in today's age where technology is changing every day, things are not going to be static. Things will change. So also incorporate in your answer that in 3 years, this is what my vision is. And this is where we should be. However, I'm aware of the fact that a number of things might change, and then talk about what are the things that might change and how it might impact what your vision is. And when you talk about your vision, also say that these will be the steps that I will take to achieve that vision. So, for example, if I want to mitigate risk, how I will start implementing it by buying this technology, by starting it in a small way, then taking it to a unit, and then how you are going to implement it throughout the bank. So, all of that you will need to explain one by one. Whatever your role is, what you are going to do, think when you are going to join the new company, how you're going to implement your vision. It will all be very hazy as of now, but you should have some broad idea, even though hazy, yes, and accept that it is hazy, you do not know, but this is what you broadly understand. One person who was going to join in a senior position had prepared very well, and she is very good. She has worked in the best companies, but the interview that she appeared in, and she was appearing in a set of interviews, she hadn't prepared well about the company. She was very well prepared for herself and she had done very good work. But they started asking deep questions about the company which she was going to join. And because she wasn't prepared on that, she was not selected. When you're joining in a senior position, you're expected to be very well aware of the company as well. So that is another level of preparation. And I will talk to you in the second part of the course how to prepare otherwise apart from these tricky questions. So now coming to the template. So now coming to the next question, question number 6. So here is question number 6 for you. How do you handle disagreements and conflicts with peers and co-workers? Again, a tricky question. Go ahead and write your own answer in the notebook before we proceed further. Take a moment, write your answer. The usual answer which people give to this is that, oh, there are hardly any disagreements of people. I don't believe in conflicts and I don't get into conflicts. Sometimes people will say that I usually handle disagreements with calmness and I see that there is harmony and that is very important for the organization. So I don't let disharmony and conflict come into the way. Or somebody might say that I ensure that my point of view gets across. In order to look very nice, people go and say these things. The truth of the matter is that conflicts in workplace is a reality. Conflicts in life is a reality. So in the workplace also conflicts happen. And a number of times conflicts are good. You need to be able to accept the reality and show how you are able to handle these challenging situations when conflicts do arise. So what is the purpose of this particular question? Let me share that with you. The purpose of this question, how you handle disagreements and conflicts with peers and co-workers, is to judge your interpersonal skills. When you are a junior manager, then your technical skills matter most. But when you are a senior manager, your interpersonal skills matter much more than your technical skills do. So it is very normal that an interviewer would want to judge your interpersonal skills. They would want to know whether you are accommodative or you are authoritative. They would want to know whether you can influence others. And for you, in your hands, it is an opportunity to show your emotional quotient and your interpersonal skills. How emotionally intelligent you are and how you handle interpersonal situations, how you handle these conflicting situations. In interpersonal skills, maybe handling conflict is the most difficult part, and therefore, this is what the question wants to judge. What can be the best answer to this question? The best answer definitely is honest. You need to be honest with the interviewer and tell them that yes, conflicts do happen. And it is a very good opportunity for you to start with an example when a conflict did arise and how you handle that. Your answer should show that you understand that conflicts are part and parcel of the job. And you also understand that conflicts, when they're taking place in the workplace, they are not personal. They relate to the work situation, they're related to issues, and conflicts can be used constructively when we look at the issues that are the cause of the conflict and we try to handle the issues rather than make it personal. So, this is the positive way to look at conflicts, and this is how you need to answer this question. And here, then share about how, in that example of yours, you helped find a solution to the conflict. Here, try to highlight your listening and problem solving abilities. People who are able to influence others are people who can listen, who can empathize, who can help find solutions. So try to handle this. Now, take a moment, think of that time when there was a conflict and you were able to find a solution to that conflict. Stop the video, take a moment, write down your best answer before we go to the the seventh question. Tricky question number 7 for you. How would your co-workers describe you? Go ahead, take a moment, write down your answer now before we go to the understanding of the question. Very often, this is how leaders answer this question. They would give straight answers like, I am an effective leader, I am assertive, I get results. These are okay. You are talking about your strengths, which is all right. However, you are not giving enough evidence, you are not giving data. This question gives you the opportunity to talk about evidence. All interviews are about powerful communication. This is where you can tell stories about what happened and because of which your co-workers describe you like this. You know, this happened and I solved these problems, and because of that, my co-workers have started calling me the problem solver. Every time that there is a problem arising, I am the person who gives the creative solutions. So people call me, if you want creative answers, go to Saliha. Think of something like this. Actually, sit down and analyze what your best strengths are and why do some people say something about you. If you do not know, go and actually ask your coworkers, how would you see me? How would you describe me? Ask a number of people, 10, 12 people, if I were to ask you how you would describe me, how you would describe me, and then ask them, why do they think like this? And this will give you valuable data to work upon and prepare for your next interview. The purpose of this question, how would your coworkers describe you, is to see how you look at yourself, how you find yourself to be, what do you find your strengths to be, and what do you find your weaknesses to be. So, how you view yourself, what are your strengths, what your weaknesses are. This question is an opportunity in your hands to show a realistic as well as positive view of yourself. Don't be too bombastic, saying only positive things. Don't be too humble, saying, oh, no, I am just an ordinary person. No, this is an opportunity for you to highlight your strengths. So do highlight and give evidence. So it does not look like you are highlighting too many things which are positive without any evidence. When you talk about examples, when you tell stories, they will look real and the other side will believe in you. So now I'm going to share with you a sample best answer. The sample best answer would be, my co-workers often tell me that I am a creative person. Whenever they're looking for a creative solution to anything, they say, go to so and so, go to Saliha, go to whatever your name is. Or think about whenever they want to negotiate a crucial deal, they would want to take me with them because I am always able to frame the client's requirement and what we have to do in a very good manner. I'm able to understand their needs and give the right solution to them. See, they call me a good negotiator because of this. How many of you think this is a powerful answer? Go ahead and write power in the comments. So, sharing an example and then talk about 2, 3 such unique strengths. Here, also appear to be humble. Actually, be humble because everyone is not only an epitome of strengths. We are human beings and we have strengths and weaknesses. Talk about your weakness also. For example, if you feel that you are too authoritative, you follow up too much, then say that sometimes I tend to get on the backs of people. However, I'm aware of that. And then I talk to them that when I get too much on your back, then let me know that I'm getting too much on your back. If I'm following up too much, let me know. Your weakness also, you should show it in a positive light. One, how you use it positively. The other, that you're aware of it and you do not let that weakness take the better of you. So, for example, one weakness could be, I am always a person in a hurry. I always want everything done yesterday, and therefore sometimes my team gets impatient with me. And I also know that that might impact quality. So, when I am too much in a hurry, I know that I have to do this, or I have somebody in my team who reminds me of the concerns about quality, and then I listen to them. So talk about your weaknesses in this way. So 7 tricky questions, and if you have mastered the answers, not actually the answers, these are not robotic answers, these are your answers coming from the depth of your personality. If you know how to answer these questions, then you would have mastered the art of acing any interview. And in the next part of the course, I'm going to share with you super tips, 5 super tips on how to prepare for and ace every interview. So how would you be able to answer all these questions? 7 questions. I've given you templates, but you need to fill in the blanks. So how would you fill in the blanks? To know how to fill in the blanks, go to the second part of the course, watch that, and you will be super ready.